Hello YouTube, welcome, Red Mud here. So today I'm going to talk to you about my EHS Racing airbox modification which I fitted to my 2017 Yamaha Grizzly 700. The reason I wanted to go with an airbox modification for greater horsepower obviously, but primarily because I live at 1400 meters above sea level, which is about 4,500 feet, give or take, and I do most of my riding between 1,000 and 1,800 meters, or somewhere between 3,000 and 6,000 feet. So as a result of that, the bike's generally down on horsepower, and that's why I like to have this modification in there, try and get more air into the engine. I went with the K&N filter option. There's a unifilter option that they do. No particular reason. I just find that I can get K&N filters a little bit easier close to where I live. I bought the airbox ready assembled from EHS, and it came as part of a big 3 package that I bought from their website. So I've got the fuel control and I've got the Barker Dual exhausts as well. It's very well made, it's very well constructed. There's a nice big thick piece of aluminium billet here, it's really nicely machined. It fits very flush against the plastic. It's been sealed in with sealant. It's very sturdy, very robust, and I'm very happy with it. My original airbox, I've just got, it's on the shelf in the workshop, so if I ever want to change it back I can. Concerns that I have about it is these little bits of foam here, this filter foam. In the instructions that came with the box, there was nothing about them being oiled like you oil a normal motorcycle filter. And they are actually, if I lift this up, you'll see they are letting dust in. We have some very fine fesh type dust, and that does get sucked in here. So on this left hand side, this is the air temperature sensor and the air intake system. So the air intake system routes air through a little hole, through a pipe into the exhaust to assist in burning off any kind of petrol fumes that haven't burnt in the combustion process in the engine. They burn in the exhaust, and that causes that sort of popping, backfiring sound that you get on deceleration. It's very irritating, very annoying. So I'm not so bothered about dust getting into that side. It's not really affecting any mechanical or moving parts. However, on the right hand side in here, this is the cylinder head breather hose. Now if dust is getting into there, if the flow is going inward into the engine, then we've got a big problem, because we've got dust potentially going into where there's moving parts, and that's not going to make the bike last too long. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to keep these bits of foam. I took them out this morning and I gave them a bit of a clean. They don't fit very well snugly, particularly on the edge where there's this curve here. Okay, so this curve around this edge here, you can see there's a hole in there, so that's a bit of an annoyance. So I'm going to keep them fitted in there, but in order to reduce the amount of dust potentially that can get into there, I'm going to refit the lid off my original stock airbox. I've snapped it off, removed all the sort of glue, tried to do it carefully, damaged the plastic a little bit, but it's got little plastic catches, 4 of them. Okay, one here, there's one there, and then on the other side as well. And I'm going to refit this and just snap it over the top, and hopefully, I'm just going to snap it in for now, like so, and hopefully that's going to reduce the amount of air that's being pulled down into this. If there is any air coming through, I'm hoping it's going to get pulled through the foam a little bit, and therefore keep the internal parts much cleaner. In conjunction with the airbox, I also got the airbox lid. Okay, some advice for anyone that's getting one of these, if you've got a Grizzly 700, is to ask for the rounded or the flatter Allen head bolts, because these are actually marking the underneath of my seat. Not that it's a major deal, but it can be. So if I just bring this in here, and you can see here, this is where the Allen bolts are actually rubbing against the underside of the seat. So if you get the flatter ones, and there's actually quite a groove in there, if you get the flatter ones, then that's going to just reduce that damage from happening. But like I said, not a major issue. And so that's basically it. Like I said, it's very well made. I'm very happy with the added power that I get, even though the air up here is a little bit thinner than it is at sea level where the bike is tuned. I don't have to worry so much about the AIS system because we don't have particularly stringent emissions regulations where I live here. It's not like the EPA in the States or in the European Union. So some guys have blocked it off to try and avoid the backfiring sound. I may consider that in the future. Hopefully this will reduce the amount of air just by capping off with this plastic lid. This will reduce the amount of air that gets sucked through. But my main concern is just trying to keep it clean. So we're going to run with this now for a couple of weeks. It's still the dry season here. It's getting very, very dusty. It's getting very, very hot. It's about 35 today already. The rains will be here soon, and then it'll just be mud. But between now and then, we're going to see how much more dust this thing actually sucks into places where it shouldn't. And I'll report back with another video. So until then, thanks all for watching. Like, subscribe, please. Any comments that you wish to make, please do so. If any of you have got any better ideas than this, or if you think what's happening here is wrong. But overall, I hope this helps. I'm not a mechanic. Always qualify that. I am not a mechanic. I'm an amateur. I enjoy tinkering and fiddling with these sorts of things. It's good fun. I enjoy riding my bike. But I'm not providing any kind of professional advice here at all. I'm just trying to hopefully find a solution that works best for me. And I hope that some of you gives you guys ideas that you may be able to use that may be of benefit to help keep your machines running smoothly. So yeah, until next time, take care. Cheers.